So today I listened to this podcast, Lenny's podcast online on YouTube, and he was interviewing this guy from Brazil, Guillermo Roche, I think, and the title is called "Everyone's an Engineer Now: Inside V0's Mission to Create 100 Million Builders."
The idea behind Replit is that making software today, especially in this group of people, we're here to build awesome things and share them with the world.
So that's his podcast, and this guy is the author of Next.js and Socket.io, and he's in the open source community. And when he learned about ChatGPT, he realized that it's a powerful tool to use it to like prompting the software, prompting, and let the software write software rather than human. So he was talking about like that sometimes it takes a very long time for engineer to make changes from the prototype, maybe from like an image markup, and then the front end engineers had to kind of cut the code, and then it translates to many weeks of work. With it now, you can just kind of upload image to AI, and it can just generate the style for you, and it will take only a few hours, and you don't have to go through a front end engineer to do that. So what he said was that because everybody is building their own websites, and you could just submit that, and other people can just make changes on top of that, and kind of make it better and share it. Kind of like the open source idea of a GitHub, but um, it's for like ideas rather than software. So people who don't know how to write software can kind of put their ideas as well on their website, on their system. And I think what he said was very interesting was um, that you don't really have to now worry about best practices anymore, because you could just take other people's, because AI will just know about the best practices. And so you don't have to think about what's the best way to lay out your screen, your button, and your background color, and all the rest of it, because AI would know about these things already, and it would do these things for you. So his idea was that the best, we can now have a lot of ideas rather than just a lot of software. So I found that very interesting, and I think that this will be very useful for our prototyping. So if we have an idea, then I can generate a prototype and to show my boss, like or maybe even let the client use it to check out if it's actually a useful kind of product, and if it works, then we can extend it to a lot a bigger software. At the moment, I think maybe my vibe coding experience was with Cursor, and I think with Cursor was still that like I remember that um, I remember it was very good, the Cursor, and so V0 is something I need to try next. But Cursor was really good in terms of like I just copy and paste code, and I said I don't understand what this file is doing, and it would just tell me what what this is and what they are. And I also copy and paste the package file, and I said that is this the latest version? And when it's not, it's kind of upgrade the whole software for me. And because I generate the code already in the old version of the software and then upgrade it, so there was some error happened, and so I just copy and paste the error back, and then it would just fix the config file for me. So I found it very nice, very great as a developer um, because it would take me a long time to upgrade everything. First of all, it would take me a very long time to understand the code, and then I have to figure out how to upgrade, whether if it's the latest version and whether how do I upgrade. And after upgrade, when I get the error, how do I fix the error? And then once I fix the error, how do I run this website? Like what command do I need to use to run this website? But with the AI tool, I think that it can all be done in like, half an hour pretty much. And I got a kind of website going. And because it was flow so fast, you just kind of think you're just in the flow. You're not like having to stop and check the documentation and, maybe get hungry and get a snack and so on and so forth. So I found it a very satisfying experience. But I think that if you're not a coder, then you will confuse you a lot because you wouldn't know what package files are, and you wouldn't know what the command lines are. And when it kind of make the changes for you, you highlight all these green and blue kind of lines. I think it will be very confusing for a non-developer to see all these so-called diff changes. And I really question whether if if you don't have a software background and you see all these scary kind of command line and kind of all these shorthands and like code in terms of incompatibilities and jargons, I really question if you're not a developer whether if you will be comfortable with that, because a lot of jargons are not really understandable for non-developers. So I'm not really sure about that. But I think still for developer, this way of coding is like really good and really worthwhile to use. And I think that, and today I asked whether if we can do this coding thing like completely in private, like as in like I just run the whole source code like at home, like and not share all this anything I generated sort of publicly. And it says, give me a way to do it. It's called LLM. I think that it's something to do with local machine, I think. And so I think with a LLM, you can download the whole tool and then you can run your code securely offline. And that way you don't have to worry about um, other people seeing your source code and so on. So that's the next thing I want to try. But at the moment, I'm interested in this V0 because it's become very popular and it could be a next version of GitHub. And I think that like it's important to like know about the vision of the creators, because they are the one who actually is moving this whole trend forward. They are intentionally changing the trends now. And so it is really interesting to see their vision and where they see this whole thing goes. And um, and I think that it's important to just maybe try a little bit every day, and in all the ways that you can think of how to do it, and not be afraid of it, because um, instead of generating just writing one app, you can write 10 apps in a day. So that's nothing to be scared of. Um, and the earlier you get to do it, the better it is, because then you have that head start um, to catch the wave while it's still kind of um, cheap, because they are trying to get people to use it. Um, it could become expensive in the future as well. Not sure. Once there's a kind of clear winner, they can become a monopoly and they will charge whatever they want to charge. And also, just because the idea is so new and fun, um, like you can give feedback as well. So I think all these reasons are like really good in terms of trying new things. Yeah. So I recommend people listen to this podcast. And again, this is Lenny's podcast, and it doesn't have an episode number, but yeah, you can just do a search, and it will just tell you like which one, V0 and Lenny's podcast.